Hey, this sponsorship brought to you by M&M's Candy, celebrating the 75 years of the history of the M&M's Candy. Get it now and celebrate those years in 2016. Hello, folks. Sorry to this late. It would have been a previous day yesterday. I want to talk about here in this sports blog, and coming up Wednesday, we can talk about more midweek sports blog. I want to tell you something about what I have found out over the weekend. Steph Curry, he was back the NBA, but terribly it was a short game for him because he fought and hurt his knee, and as a result, as yesterday's MRI, he basically going to evaluate for the next 2 weeks. So, maybe it's time until his semifinal. He could be coming back and trying to get that championship from that injury that had been occurred. There was a lot of, not a lot of maintenance going on in Houston, and Houston Walker's basketball court basically wasn't being swept. I mean, it needs to be cleaned up and somehow, but he might have slipped somewhere where the floor got slippery, so they need to clean that fast. Second of all, we want to talk about what's happening. The Boston Celtics tied up the series with Atlanta Hawks, and the Atlanta Hawks, they basically took a big beating against the Celtics in 2 straight games. They won like overtime. They had a lot of guts lately to tie up the series, but this series could go longer. And the winner of the series would take on the one and only Cleveland Cavaliers. Cleveland Cavaliers just won. They swept Detroit Pistons out of there in that league, and San Antonio Spurs swept out Memphis. Hey, folks, this is gonna get shaking things up in the NBA playoffs, and things are moving on quickly. But further ado, we just find out that Oklahoma City has eliminated the Dallas Mavericks. And as the words to Mark Cuban, he thinks that Russell Westbrook is not a star. Durant called him an idiot, so I would say I agree with Kevin Durant on that one. So we move on. What we're gonna happen is that in things like in the NBA, things are getting too quick. Everything's moving forward fast, quickly than you ever expected, and people are just gonna stirs up as an epic playoff run in a certain game. Clippers. I just informed that Chris Paul got injured for the remainder of the playoff season. He got hurt in Portland. Bunch of star guys getting injured in playoffs. It's gonna be very, very hard, and I think they took the win on the Portland Trail Blazers, so they got another one to go. I don't know if Clippers is gonna ever move on the next round. We'll see. It's hard to tell. This is a tough game to choose, and we're watching basically on the game in the NBA. Furthermore, Charlotte Hornets, at least think they win, I believe, but they probably tied up with Miami. I don't know if Miami had finished it, but that's another big win for Charlotte. And Charlotte has facing the jeopardy of the All-Star game on the NBA. And the NBA ordered to change the bathroom wall so people can go to the game. But if they don't, it's gonna say bye bye to Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay, now let's move on to the Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball. I want to talk about Major League Baseball because Major League Baseball, things are stirred up again. The Chicago Cubs are now the powerhouse team, number one team record in the MLB. They had tremendous amount of home runs beating the Reds. They showed that they can step up the game. They can win the game. They beat the Reds out of that series. And, I went up to Cincinnati. I got to admit, they have a better starting lineup than Cincinnati Reds have ever done. Chicago Cubs has the ways to work this team functionality by the same organization that was on the previous Boston Red Sox, like year 2004 or 2003, with Theo Epstein. And he keeps it real, and let's see if they're going to win the championship or not. I don't know. Let's see. Talk about the World Series, folks. Talk about the World Series. And you got the Mets is doing good. Dodgers is doing good. There's plenty. The Nationals is doing good. There's plenty of teams out there doing good. The Chicago White Sox. Chicago clearly have two teams that are doing good in MLB, but the ones that are not doing good is the Yankees, Minnesota Twins. Let the Braves. Let the Braves get the worst record in MLB so far. Jeez. It's hard. It's a hard week. It's a hard week. I strongly believe what's happening in the Major League Baseball world, and it's been difficult as it seems when you watch the baseball game, and it's interesting played and everything. Red Sox, they're trying to struggle through against the Houston Astros, but they finally did it. So. Yeah, let's get a thumbs up or down one. Steph Curry definitely showed up one of the games between Boston versus Houston Astros. As of right now, I noticed that Houston had been a flood lately, been very, very hard. People losing their homes, and it sucks. I would say, pray to God if they can survive. It's, just keep it real, Houston. Keep it real. Keep it real. And on this interview, the guy trying to compare Draymond Green on his plays over a flooded Houston city. But Draymond Green told him as it is, and he told him, you can't answer that question because it's not good, because it's things with people losing their homes and everything, and he thinks that question was totally stupid. I would say thumbs up to Draymond Green. That's true words right there. That's all true. So, you can't disrespect a person's personality comparing to what's plum in that city. It's very, very dumb. So change your act, media guys. Change your act. So, that's all I gotta say. It's very, 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 very hard to resist. It's pretty funny because, I think it's better that someone told him off that, because it's a life lesson, and this is serious, folks, and we gotta talk serious stuff. We don't want anybody talking about foolishness, and we don't need no foolishness in this world. So that's why they call it the freedom of the press, and it's America's all about America. Well, I want to thank you guys. See you later. We can talk more another week, and so we see you in the midweek show at Sports Blog. Starting tomorrow, okay? So, see you later, folks, and bye-bye. Remember, we're going to keep this rolling all week long. Peace. And don't forget, Mega Blog on this Saturday. Bye.